I'd like to call this tribal council meeting for Monday, September 12th to order. Welcome everybody who is here. And Melvina, would you do our invocation, please?
Ora galandi he uli helis tahan sivdes giatino. Nimna de dostan heldi do hest ahan dogilonstan he. Oswatli lo he jelegis skadu. Niho des giatinos no le iskeyon he do hest do you danke. Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for all your blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We thank for each one that is in attendance. Lord, I just ask you to be with each and every one as we journey home. Thank you in your name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Shelley, will you do roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Keith Austin. Here. Danny Callison. Here. Julia Coates. Sean Crittenden. Here. Joe Deere. Mike Dobbins. Here. Rex Jordan. Here. Johnny Kidwell. Here. Daryl Legg. Here. Wes Snowfire. Dora Petskowski. Here. Joshua Sam. Here. Mike Shambaugh.
Here.
Melvina Shotpouch. E.O. Smith. Here. Condessa Teehee. Victoria Vasquez. We have a quorum.
Okay, if you've had a chance to look over the minutes from the previous meetings, I would like to hear.
Move for approval.
We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, State of the Nation. Deputy Brian Warner.
Well, CO to God, I hope everyone has had a eventful day full of togetherness, because it's needed in times like today that we're in. We work better when we do things together, and we travel in the same direction. And speaking of traveling, I know everybody is wondering. You know, our chief was. I've got it here. It is a privilege to fill in for Chief Hoskin in this, but the word was he was headed to D.C. But this morning, we know that he tested again before he went to go to D.C. because he was headed to the White House and everything, and he tested positive again. So, out of an abundance of caution, he's well, very well. Spoke with him today, but he will remain isolated. And looking at the guidance from our Cherokee Nation public health team, and we all know how much we appreciate our public health team. So just keep your thoughts and prayers with Chief and his family, and I know that each of us would love to see him back at his post as is, but just trust as well. I know several of you have made phone calls and everything, but Chief is doing very, very well. Just want to thank each of you for we just come out of a very, very successful Cherokee national holiday. And one thing that I would like for everybody to do is just to recognize it wasn't individual work. There were individuals that started this process, but it was a team of people, a team of volunteers, of our employees, a team of volunteers that are non-employees, and everybody that come together to put on a hybrid event like it was. It was great to be back together in person. But it was also great to see how technology has carried us through the pandemic and also carrying us into the future to remain connected that much more. So let's give all of our staff, all of our volunteers, all the participants, everybody, a round of applause for what they've done. You know, they were telling a little bit, Callie Tunstudi was mentioning that morning when I was doing an interview with Channel 6 about it. Was the Cherokee homecoming, and over time it changed to the Cherokee national holiday, but it is a homecoming for many. We had many come around. I'll just give you a few numbers. Our team estimates that more than 162,000 people attended the holiday this year in person. I can tell you, this is the statistic that I love. 3,559 cars were parked on Saturday night at the powwow. So you're looking at around somewhere about 14,000 individuals that came to the intertribal powwow. You know, we had about 100,000 or so people that were streaming online. A wonderful event, you know, filled with something for everybody. You had all the old events that were very important, then you had some of the new events that were added. And I know just this past week, one of the holiday events, you know, the holidays kind of passed, but we had a fishing tournament. And I know I want to thank our Fish and Wildlife group. Lane Kendall kind of led that charge with the Secretary of Natural Resources, giving him all the resources that him and his team needed to put on a successful tournament. But, you know, really, if you think about before the honoree banquet, where we honored our national treasures, where we honored our community service, community leaders, and where we honored our statesmanship award and the late Frankie Hargis. Before that weekend before that, we crowned our new junior miss and Miss Cherokee. And also the night before that, we crowned our little ambassador. So very much looking forward to having them come to council and visit with you guys and speaking a little bit more about their platform, because that's important. If you think about everything about the state of the nation, if you think about everything that we do at the holiday, and you think about our royalty, that platform is something that is very specific because it is a leadership competition. And it should invoke some sense of pride in each of us to be a small part or a large part, however big it is, of those young ladies and those young men's lives, because that is our future and what we're looking forward to. So I want to thank the families of Miss Lauren Fields and Macy Fields, who are filling those two vital roles that are leading the way for our little ambassadors as well. But I can't say enough about, we understand. I don't think that the holiday is going to get any smaller. I think it's growing. So I will tell you that now, as we're kind of piecing back, and you come back in and you have those meetings at the end, those are the things that we're looking at. So rest assured that we're looking at ways that we can always improve. You want to look at assessment as, what are we doing? How do we do it? How can we do it better? And so that is undergoing. So any ideas or anything that you guys see, we take that as very valuable. Recently, too, the Cherokee Nation has been named a Forbes Top 10 Best in State Employer of 2022. This is an honor for our tribal government. It has been recognized by Forbes as among Oklahoma's most successful employers and best places to work here in the state. We are a workplace of choice. And I think a lot of the things you look at, how do they come to this idea? It's a minimum wage increase, mental wellness leave, gender equality, family leave benefits, things that our employees deserve as they serve our people. And each of us that serve on a body as an elected official know how important that service is, and we know how important those individuals are that are in the trenches each and every day that are making these things happen. So again, to our employees and to the Cherokee Nation and to this body, we thank all the support. Recently, we all remember that we had the expanded family leave. With Chief Hoskin, we launched a new family leave policy that provides all qualifying parents who work full-time for the Cherokee Nation with paid time off for the birth of a child or adoption through the child's Indian Child Welfare Department. I want to thank the individuals that helped push this and put this out there, and thank you, each of you, for getting behind something like this, and with Chief kind of leading out there, looking and listening. That's some of the most important things that we can do, is listening with discernment about what's important to our individuals. And when you take an adoptive child in, or you're fostering a child, and we look at what they added for the fathers or the partners in that family, to give that 2 extra weeks, that is something that's very important, because we know in Cherokee culture, family holds a sacred spot in everything that we do. Further on, IHS water funding. How many people here are excited about infrastructure? Because, yes, infrastructure across Oklahoma, across the United States, and all of our small towns, all of our communities, has to be one of the most, things that's an unsung hero of how we get things done. And it's so important. We are collaborating with IHS to bring more than $11.8 million in safer water infrastructure and sewage upgrades to 1,400 homes across the Cherokee Nation Reservation. This brings safe drinking water, water treatment systems to a number of areas that are inside the reservation. And we know we're always looking for ways to better connect our people with resources we need. And if you look, the prayers are needed for those places like Jackson, Mississippi, and the things that they're undergoing. And you always think, will these things happen here? Well, with collaborative efforts like this, it's a good start to holding those things off. But as Chief always said, the Cherokee Nation is really good about not forgetting the places that the rest of the world have forgotten about, because we know we have people that live there, and those people make a difference in all of our lives. Just to give you some numbers, I'm sure you heard earlier today about numbers in education, higher ed scholarships this year. Almost 6,300 Cherokees are on scholarship this fall, and I just say that's amazing. Let's give those scholars a round of applause. Congrats to our education department, 6,300. That's a lot of applications. There's a lot of things that are about the processing. So our finance team, our education team are to be commended. This is a record number of undergrad, graduate programs, and concurrent enrollments. And I just want everybody to know how much we appreciate that. And it's not to be said that also, too, we always remember that our career services department does such a good job for those that are looking for those technical trades and those other certificate programs that may not qualify under that higher ed umbrella. But we know in this world, just as our infrastructure, we need those people out there working, and what better people to do it than get behind our Cherokee people. Also proud to say that we're back at large travel to our communities and our community meetings. We've had a great return to in-person events with our CCO communities. I want to commend Kevin Stretch and his staff of CCO and all the departments that end up going. I can tell you, it is work out there in these to put these on, but the events are well attended, and it's well worth it. There's a wealth of knowledge all over this world found in Cherokees, no matter where they are. And to get out to these communities. And what was really enriching for me, and I know it was for Chief, is to get back out there for me to meet some of these community leaders face to face, and then 2 short weeks coming back from Portland and Washington, be able to see them here enjoying the holiday at the homecoming, and it makes a big difference. I know this month they are headed to Texas for a couple events. I know we have another event and with the Eastern Band, and then soon to follow you have some events in October. But always a pleasure to get out and to travel and to meet our at-large citizens, because I tell you, it's amazing. I can jump up in a community that's that I've traveled through a lot, would be Marble City, Henderson, Flute Springs, Nycut, Bellefonte, Sally Bull Holly. You start naming these small places, it's amazing how many people out there. You'll ask anybody, do they know where Nycut? And somebody will raise their hand, and a man came out of the audience at the last one with a tear in his eye and said, my mother was born right there in that small community, and we're way out in Seattle, Washington. Couldn't, almost just doesn't seem like you could get any further from home. So with that does conclude my report. I will ask right now something that we've done in the past. I do not have a list, but let's have a moment of silence for those that have passed on, that were with us at the last meeting that are not with us now. Amen. And thank you, Mr. Speaker and Council. Again, it is an honor and a privilege to be in front of you today.
Thank you, Deputy Chief.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next with our Cherokee Warrior Veterans Award, S. Joe Crittenton, Secretary of Veteran Affairs, and Deputy Warner.
Okay, well, again, another part of the program that we all love is honoring our veterans. And one of the things that was one of the big highlights of the Cherokee National Holiday was that Friday. Typically on that Saturday, in the midst of all the holiday, we had the Veterans Luncheon. This year, somebody had a great idea. Let's move it to Friday, where more people can come. We moved it to the Sequoia Gym. It was fantastic. There was, I got word there was a quartet there that was doing a little bit of singing, but it was mainly led by Councilman Crittenden, and we do appreciate that. but just an awesome event. So today, as we honor our veterans, as we should each and every day, because the freedoms that we enjoy came on the backs of these men and women who serve currently and who have served, and those that are yet to be born that will serve. Today, our first veteran that we want to honor is Mr. Donald R. Davis. Mr. Davis joined the Air Force in 1955 after training. The Air Force sent him overseas to Midway Island, Guam, Resolution Island, and the Philippine Islands. Mr. Davis and his crew did 5 tours in Southeast Asia, flew several combat missions in Laos and other areas while in Vietnam. Mr. Davis was part of a crew who flew 12-hour missions aboard a C-130 Airborne Command Control Center where they directed all bombers and fighter jets to their targets. Also, they assisted in ground rescue. Mr. Davis was a part of the Strategic Air Command 55th Air Mobility Support Group, and he retired with an honorable discharge after 20 years as an E6 Technical Sergeant. Medals: Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal, Air Force Longevity Service Medal with 4-leaf cluster, oak leaf cluster, Air Force Good Conduct Medal with 3 oak leaf cluster. And if I could have District 6, Mr. Dale Legg, to come down. Mr. Davis, on behalf of a grateful nation, sir, we thank you for your service to our country.
Family. Looking right here for me. 1, 2, and 3. Another one real quick. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Donald, would you like to say anything?
No, just thank everybody. Thank everybody.
We appreciate you.
Glad to be here.
Okay, if I could have our at-large council. I believe Julie is joining us virtually today, so, okay. Our next veteran to honor for the Cherokee Warrior Award is Mr. Ross Fred Rivas, Jr. Mr. Rivas entered the U.S. Navy on March 4th, 1968, and was sent to the Great Lakes, Illinois, then to the Navy Aviation Electrician School in Jacksonville, Florida. Mr. Rivas was selected as the person to load and unload the photography module on the A-7E aircraft, along with the maintenance responsibilities of an aviation electrician. In November of 1970, Mr. Rivas' squadron, the VA-192, was deployed to Vietnam aboard the aircraft carrier USS Kitty Hawk. Mr. Rivas was honorably discharged on January of 1972, where he went on to complete his college degree. Medals: Defense Service Medal, Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal, Meritorious Unit Commendation. Mr. Rivas, on behalf of a grateful nation, sir, we thank you for your service. Mr. Even, any comments?
Quite an honor. It's quite an honor to be able to stand in front of my people and be recognized for my military service. Thank you very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right. On this one, I would like to have, let's go ahead and get District 5, Mr. Councilman E.O. Smith, and I want to go ahead and ask District 6 Councilman Darrell Legg to join us. Our next Veterans Warrior Award goes to Mr. Erdy J. Six. Mr. Six entered the Navy in 1984. He served on the USS Midway aircraft carrier CV-41. Mr. Six was stationed on board as a firefighter most of the time while in the Navy. Mr. Six spent the majority of his tour in Germany as an electrical mechanical equipment repairman until he returned stateside in 1987 to be honorably discharged as a Seaman E3. Medals and service ribbons, sea service ribbons twice over. Mr. Six, on behalf of a grateful nation, sir, we're thankful for your service. If you've ever been through Marble City and you get the car has trouble, you got a house fire or anything like that, Erdy Six is the man that'll come bail you out right there. So he's a man of many talents. Yeah, well. Yes, because he's from up your area. Melvina, why don't you come down and join us? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, come on. Looking right here for me, 1, 2, and 3. Fantastic. All right.
Stephanie, some people coming up?
Yeah.
Okay. Can everybody scoot over a little bit for me? There we go. 1, 2, and 3. You got it? All right. Ready to go?
Well, it's an honor to have all three of you here, and I know again, council, let's give all three of our veterans.
Go ahead, scoot over. Awesome. 1, 2, and 3. Fantastic.
All right. Thank you again, sir. I was hoping that in 80 to 85. Good country. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, this concludes our Warrior Awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Crittenden and Deputy Chief Brian Warner. All right, action of unfinished business, there is none pending. Committee reports. Under monthly reports, our Cherokee Nation Business CEO, Chuck Garrett.
Good evening, councilors. On behalf of the 8,000 hardworking men and women at Cherokee Nation Businesses, it's my honor to be here this evening to deliver our monthly report. We are, as you have seen in our financial report to the council, having an extremely strong summer. July report that you have indicates a tremendous financial performance by both of our businesses. Cherokee Nation Entertainment is continuing a strong year, recovering from the pandemic. Demand has been exceeding expectation, and the team has been really performing at an extremely high level. We continue our journey in Arkansas and our inevitable wins there. Of course, we, as you all know, hold the license currently to that fourth and final license in Arkansas. We fended off the attempt to get a ballot question on the ballot to amend the Constitution to further remove the license from Pope County. That was a successful effort on behalf of our team. We now, on Friday, will have an opportunity to be before Judge Griffin and hear a couple of issues that have been in front of his court for a number of months. So we're looking forward to that. This is our opportunity to lay out our arguments. We feel very good about the outcome, and we'll be tackling that on Friday. Cherokee Federal this is the busy time of the contracting period of the year. So we are working literally around the clock trying to secure as many of the outstanding contracts that we can for us all, and having some very significant successes. As I mentioned before, we've been working with the IRS on some of the significant contracts, but also wanted to mention this particular one because it's an exciting one that the Cherokee Nation Strategic Programs has been contracted by the Defense Threat Reduction Agency. Some of you may know more about that agency, but their mission is to counter threats and vulnerabilities while bolstering the national and international chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and highly explosive security through assessments, exercises, and modeling. So this is obviously of great importance to our nation's security, and I'm really proud that we have the technical expertise to provide solutions to federal government on such an important set of issues. So I'm really proud of the team for that. In terms of non-financial matters, just wanted to mention that the fall racing is kicking off at Will Rogers Downs. The season kicked off this week, and this year's traditional Friday through Saturday is now being held on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then shift to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, starting in October. And I mention that in case you all wanted to come out, or many guests will be out there. We're expanding. The strategy behind that was that it expands the availability for jockeys and trainers, and increases the wagering opportunities for our fans. We also are increasing the amount of purse levels this year. So it's an exciting time of year out there, and if you haven't been in a while, you ought to take a little time to go out there. It's a lot of fun, and we have a really strong following. Also wanted to just mention a shout out really to our Cherokee Nation Cultural tourism team, and they were very instrumental in what I thought was an outstanding Cherokee holiday, and they're sort of the ones out there in the heat and the sweat, and doing a lot of the blocking and tackling that allows that to be such a wonderful event. We're continuing to expand our historical sites, and this is the team that keeps track of all that, as well as the various ceremonies and also exhibitions. Many of you, and I saw Councilor Vasquez out there, were at the ribbon cutting ceremony for the new cultural pathway in Tahlequah, and of course that team also was very instrumental in the opening of the new exhibit, We Are Cherokees, Cherokee Freedmen and the Right to Citizenship, which is a tremendous, absolutely tremendous exhibition. If you haven't had a chance to go, please do, because it really is a moving tribute to, and quite, educational for those of us that may not have been quite as informed on that history. It's an extremely important exhibit. But I do want to just thank them publicly for all the work that they do. And of course, we appreciate your support of all those efforts to maintain those important historic sites for the nation. With that, I'd be happy to try and answer any questions that the council might have. Speaker.
Any questions for our CEO? Dr. Teehee?
Yeah, I also join in with commending the cultural tourism staff. They put together some amazing events and Cherokee National Holiday. It was just wonderful for all of us to gather again. You mentioned the ribbon cutting on the Tracy Rabbit Outdoor Cultural Walk.
Yeah.
I think I would like to request, if possible, that those invitations also be shared with Gail Miller, so they could be shared with the council as a whole, because that was not an event I was aware of. If I could potentially make that request.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm sorry that would have been a snafu, because typically the process is that tribal council through Gail and others get notice, and then from there is distributed to the individual counselors. So I'm not sure exactly what broke down there, but we'll make certain that we take a look at that process and make it right going forward.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate that. I know it was such a busy last few days. So I absolutely,
But-
no hard feelings at all.
Oh, well-
Just a request for future events.
Absolutely. Appreciate you bringing that to my attention, and hope you get out there to see it. I think you probably have already. It's something else.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. Tracy
Yeah.
Rabbit, one of our Cherokee national treasures.
incredible.
It's absolutely incredible. It's very moving to walk through the cultural walkway, very poignant, and I appreciate the work from cultural tourism and Cherokee Nation businesses to make that happen. Thank you for the time, Speaker.
Anybody else? Councilman Nofar?
It's, appreciate you being here today. I like that word snafu. I don't know how you spell it, but I heard the word snafu. I just had a question. I had a citizen call me. Are we still operating our mask-making facilities, both of them? Or is any of them shut down? Or
No, we're still cranking them out. We've
Okay.
got, yes, and that'll be, ongoing. For us, we have all the machines are up, so like any of the machines, that some of them break down from time to time, but it's just a short lapse in production.
Okay, appreciate it.
You bet.
Appreciate you for clarifying that.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it, Speaker.
Anybody else? Thank you for your report, sir.
Appreciate it, Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to old business, none pending. New business? Yes, Councilman Sam.
Speaker, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add items 4 through 10 that were passed out during a committee.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, the motion passes to amend the agenda. Okay, under the Rules Committee, Councilman Legg, would you take the first one, please?
You bet. The Career Readiness Act of 2019, 2022 amendments, and I'll put that in form of motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Number 2, out of Executive and Finance Committee, Councilman Austin, would you take that, please?
This is an act amending legislative act 43-21, authorizing the comprehensive capital budget for fiscal year 2022, Mod 6, and declaring an emergency, and I put that in the form of an motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Also, number 3, out of Executive and Finance, Councilman Sam, would you take that, please?
Yes, this is an act amending Legislative Act 44-21, authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2022, Mod 11, and declaring an emergency. And I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to number 4, also out of Executive and Finance. Councilman Deere, would you take that, please?
This is an act authorizing and approving the fiscal year 2023 capital appropriations budget and declaring an emergency. I'll put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, also out of Executive and Finance. Councilman Patskowski, would you take that, please?
Yes, an act authorizing and approving the fiscal year 2023 operating appropriations budget and declaring an emergency, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, coming out of the Health Committee, Councilman Jordan, would you take that?
This is a resolution in support of an execute branch study of opportunities to improve direct care and purchase and preferred care, contract health, Claremore Indian Hospital. And I put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? All right, also out of Resource Committee, number 7, Councilman Smith, would you take that, please?
Yes, it's a resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation to grant an easement for right-of-way and lift station across tribal trust land to the Tahlequah Public Works Authority for the Indian Meadow Server Line Project located in Cherokee County. Put that in form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Number 8, also out of the Resource Committee. Councilman Teehee, would you take that, please?
This is a resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation to lease tribal trust land for a water pump station and grant easements for rights-of-way for a water line project located on tribal trust lands to the Ten Killer Utilities Authority. I put this forward in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Number 9, also out of Resource. Dr. Dobbins, would you take that, please?
It's a resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation to grant an easement for right-of-way for a road improvement project to the city of Catoosa located on tribal trust land in Rogers County. I move for its approval.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, and finally, number 10 from our special session in the Rules Committee. Councilman Crittenden, would you take that, please?
Resolution endorsing an intergovernmental detention agreement between Cherokee Nation and Limestone County, Texas. I put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Speaker, just had a really quick comment. I just wanted to make the reason known, the reason why I couldn't endorse this agreement.
Well, sir, we're either voting yes or no. We've had time to discuss it. It's not the time for that right now. We're voting, yes or no.
In full council, you have the right to make a discussion on the reason why you're not voting yes or no, and also the reason why to try to advocate for something or pull it back. That's the way all council meetings go. So I just was wanting to clarify the reason why I was voting no, because I couldn't endorse an agreement that hasn't been seen yet.
Well, Councilman, you had a chance to do that earlier.
And that's fine,
and you
Speaker.
did.
I'm sorry I still have the floor. That's fine. I just wanted to let that know. It's part of our Robert's Rules of Order to be able to have a motion, seconded.
I'm well aware of the rules,
discussion,
and it is my meeting,
and once the
Councilman.
discussion happens, then we vote on it. So I've had that discussion. Now we can vote. Appreciate it.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, that concludes our travel council meeting. Is there any announcements? Councilman Deere.
Just let people know, the 24th at Mohawk Polo Fields in Tulsa, we're having a district-wide event. It's going to have culture activities, food, 3 different bands, a comedy show. Mike and Bone Rappers will be there, our culture activities, and it's free to the public from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and everybody's welcome. Thank you, Chair.
Councilman Shopouch.
This gentleman, he's a Katua, but he's also being a tribal member, worked for the nation, and a veteran. Frank Arnicher, he's related to Joe, passed away, and he's been our cook, helped us cook for many years in the cultural activities. And his services will be Thursday at 2 o'clock at the Pine Ridge Baptist Church.
Thank you. Councilman Kidwell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As Deputy so eloquently stated earlier today in his remarks, we have a couple of the at-large meetings coming up this weekend. We're going to be in Katy, Texas on Saturday, and then we'll be over in New Braunfels on that Sunday. And then on the 21st, there's a meet and greet with the Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. and the at-large counselors in Harris Casino on Cherokee, North Carolina. So there are a lot of things coming up. So if those at-large citizens are listening to this online and they'd like to be there, we'd sure like them to participate. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. Anybody else? Councilman Crittenden?
Thank you. Like you all to remember the Cochran family, Levi, he's about my age, passed away. If you can remember their family. Also a student of mine from Bell School, he'd passed away recently, Dustin Patterson. And appreciate you taking the time to send them a prayer up for them. And while I've got the mic, on a different note, I appreciate Mr. Holderby. Most of the time, more times than not, he comes out and to these, and appreciate you being here, member of our C&B Business Board. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. Condessa?
I wanted to take a moment and offer condolences to the family of Chief David Teehee. He was chief of Redbird Smith Ceremonial Grounds for 28 years, which is quite a tenure. During his life, he was a veteran of the Korean War and of our Navy. He was someone who worked hard to keep culture and tradition alive and was also a fluent Cherokee speaker. He is a relative of mine as well, and I just wanted to take a moment to offer condolences to his family and to his loved ones. In addition, we I believe in the month of August, also lost Mr. Tony Chaliwa. Mr. Chaliwa was a celebrated and nationally recognized metalsmith, primarily working in copper, and was an artist who was reinvigorating Southeastern design style before his unfortunate passing. And he will be greatly missed. He was someone who created a number of beautiful gorgets and other copper pieces that are worn by many individuals throughout, not just Cherokee Nation, but throughout the United States. And I just want to take a moment to offer condolences to his family and recognize also the passing of a innovative and towering artistic figure who will be greatly missed throughout the Cherokee Nation. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman No Fire.
Yeah, I just wanted to invite everybody out. We got a community meeting going on at Dry Creek, starting at 5:30 on the 29th. So looking forward to everybody coming out, having a good time and eating good food. I know Miss Robbins, she's always cooking it up good down there, and so looking forward to ever seeing anybody. Appreciate it, Speaker.
Councilman Sam.
Thank you, Speaker. Yes, just ask for the prayers for the family of Tim Bishop. They will be laying him to rest tomorrow afternoon. I appreciate it.
Okay. Anyone else?
Thank you. Yes, also on September 24th, on Saturday from 10 to 3, Native American Fellowship, Inc. in South Coffeyville is hosting their 3rd annual Native American Unity Gathering, and we will have vendor booths, and all ages are welcome, and we'll have storytelling, drumming, kids' activities. demonstrations for dance and Indian Sign Language and more. And again, the hours are 10 to 3, and it's at 215 Oklahoma Street in South Coffeyville. And I challenge you to, let's see how many people we can get to our events on the same day. Thank you.
I accept that challenge, Chair.
Okay, our next Tribal Council meeting will be held on Tuesday, October 12th at 6 p.m. in the Tribal Council headquarters. Again, would like to thank everyone for coming to our meeting, and I need one more. I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.